Once upon a time, a wolf was feasting greedily on his prey. He was in such a hurry to gulp everything down that a sharp bone got stuck deep in his throat. The pain was immediate and unbearable. He choked and gagged, his eyes wide with panic. He tried to cough it out, but the bone was lodged firmly, scraping against his throat with every movement. He ran around frantically, howling in agony, but nothing he did could dislodge the bone. He felt like he was suffocating, and the fear of choking to death gripped him. In his desperate search for help, the wolf stumbled upon a heron. The heron was a tall, elegant bird with a long, slender neck and an even longer beak, standing gracefully by the riverbank. Seeing the heron, a glimmer of hope sparked in the wolf's desperate mind. He knew that the heron's long beak was the perfect tool to reach down his throat and pull out the stubborn bone. He approached the heron, trying his best to look pitiful despite the excruciating pain. "Oh, noble heron," he wheezed, his voice raspy and strained. "Please, you must help me. A bone is stuck in my throat, and I fear I will die if it is not removed. Your long beak is my only hope. If you can reach in and pull it out, I will reward you handsomely. I swear on my honor as a wolf, you will not regret helping me today." The heron was naturally wary. Wolves were known for their cunning and treachery, and getting close to a wolf, especially one in distress, was a risky business. She looked at the wolf, whose face was contorted in pain, and a flicker of pity stirred within her. She also couldn't deny that the promise of a rich reward was very tempting. After a moment of hesitation, she thought, well, the poor creature is in real trouble, and a handsome reward would be very nice indeed. So, the heron agreed. "All right, wolf," she said cautiously, "I will help you, but you must promise not to move or snap your jaws while my head is in your mouth. Open your mouth as wide as you can, and hold perfectly still." The wolf eagerly nodded and opened his massive jaws, revealing rows of sharp, menacing teeth. The sight was terrifying, and the heron had to take a deep breath to steady her nerves. She reminded herself of the promised reward and carefully inserted her long, slender head deep into the wolf's gaping mouth, down into his throat. It was a dark and dangerous place, and the heron could feel the wolf's hot breath on her feathers. With great care, she used her long beak like a pair of forceps. She located the sharp bone, gripped it firmly, and with a gentle but firm tug, she pulled it free. The relief on the wolf's face was instantaneous. He coughed once, took a deep, clear breath, and felt the agonizing pain disappear. He could breathe freely again. The wolf shook his head, feeling immense gratitude for being saved from a terrible fate. The heron, having successfully completed the risky procedure, withdrew her head from the wolf's mouth, feeling quite proud of herself. She stepped back and held out the small, sharp bone for the wolf to see. "There," she said, her voice filled with relief and expectation. "The bone is out. I have saved your life. Now, as you promised, where's my handsome reward?" The wolf, now free from his suffering, looked at the heron. His expression had changed. The desperate, pleading look was gone, replaced by a familiar, cunning glint in his eyes. He let out a low growl and bared his teeth, not in pain this time, but in a menacing grin. "Reward?" the wolf sneered. "You want a reward? Be grateful that you were allowed to put your head in a wolf's mouth and were permitted to take it out again in one piece. You stuck your head between my teeth, and you are still alive to talk about it. That is your reward. Now, get out of my sight before I change my mind and decide to give you a different kind of reward." The heron was stunned into silence. She stared at the ungrateful wolf, her heart sinking with disappointment and a cold touch of fear. She had risked her life to help him, trusting his solemn promise, only to be met with threats and mockery. She realized her foolishness. She had expected gratitude and honor from a creature who possessed neither. Without another word, the heron turned and flew away, wiser and sadder. She had learned a harsh but valuable lesson that day. And the moral of this story is that when you help the wicked, you cannot expect a reward. Often, you should count yourself lucky just to escape without being harmed. Gratitude and justice are not qualities you will find in the hearts of the ungrateful.